All right, there's our end. Hey, welcome to Fireside Tats, the official podcast of the Tattoo Improvement Network. Go to tattooimprovement.com or firesidetats.com and sign up for our newsletter. Keep up with what we're doing. It's actually the same newsletter. Don't go to both of them. You'll get subscribed twice. We promise not to email you more than 7 to 9 times a day. Obviously, we'll send you all of our meals. Picture photos. We like to do that. Scripture, things like that. So we're here with Ryan Willingham, still at the Ink and Iron Fest. So we're just going to talk a little bit about his background, what he's doing now, what he's going to do, art related. Thanks for coming on, man.
Hey, no problem.
Thanks
for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. How long have you been tattooing?
I guess on and off for about 16 years.
Oh, okay.
Going to college and everything, I took a bit of a break, but, I got into it really young and kind of got thrown into it at a really young age. So
thrown in, how do you mean?
Well, there was a really ghetto shop in Atlanta, and my sister knew the owner, and he heard that I could draw, and a few days later, I was tattooing.
A few days later, you were tattooing?
Yeah.
So no formal apprenticeship or anything?
No, I went back later on, and I was like, I got to do this the right way, and got the apprenticeship and all that good stuff.
Yeah, it's funny how so many people in that, especially in that time frame. Sorry about the other voices, guys. Especially in that time frame, so many people started with these really kind of crazy apprenticeships. Mine was my apprenticeship involved running a shuttle to the Navy base that was 30 minutes away from our shop and back, just bringing Navy kids in. The weirdest kind of apprenticeships ever. And now you see all these people with these art backgrounds and then badass apprenticeships that are really structured, and 2 years in they're doing work that I was doing 10 years in.
I'm looking back. I'm jealous of these guys sometimes.
It's amazing. So you started tattooing before art school then, huh?
Yeah, I was about 16 when I started, and I was doing just crosses and script and things like that. I didn't really know what you could do at that point, and it wasn't until later that I could see the potential of what you could do with tattooing, and decided, to go in full force, I've been doing it ever since. So.
You mentioned you went to Savannah College of Art. You went for film. You weren't really an art, visual arts.
I was all about, I wanted to direct movies. So I did that and got in the movie industry for about a year and a half, and it just wasn't for me.
Really?
So tattooing was my other love. So
you kind of stuck with it.
Absolutely.
Your style now, just going through your work before we met, you really kind of illustrative, a lot of, but then also some kind of realism as well, kind of a hybrid style, huh?
Yeah. It's all a lot of color, and lately I've been really trying to focus on, I don't want to say I'm trying so hard to get away from a new school look, to where it's more of a neo-traditional but very illustrative. I loved comic books growing up, so I really try to throw that into it, and that kind of look about my tattoos.
Comics are a huge influence on 90% of the tattooers that we talk to. I know and it's tough, man, when you're because some of the stylistically, you talk about some of the new school or the neo-traditional kind of stuff. It's tough to separate yourself sometimes within those styles because they've exploded so much, and there's so many people doing fantastic work in those styles that you almost just have to do what you do and let that evolve, because if you're trying to pigeonhole yourself into one of those styles, you're just going to end up looking like a lot of other tattooers.
Yeah, absolutely. It was funny because I guess the drawing style went way towards neo-traditional, and then I think there was a little period of time where I was trying to color it in neo-traditional, and then I just realized it's hey, I should just do what I do with my color with these kind of designs, and I think it's turned into something kind of unique at this point. So,
do you enjoy the actual the photorealism a bit, or is it do you like the? I noticed some of this a few of your Instagram posts you had drawn on with Sharpie and stuff like that. So obviously your approach. You don't have that approach with some of the realism. You're actually preparing and doing stencils and stuff like that.
That. With realism, obviously, you have to have a picture. You have to have that realistic picture, and, I guess that was, I don't know how I really got into the realism,
Do you enjoy it?
I do. It's, a lot of times I tattoo a lot of sleeves and, things I can't do in a day.
Right.
You know, so when I do get like a color portrait or something like that, I know I have to kind of knock that out in a day, you know, so it's kind of a relief to be able to say, okay, I've started this and I'm done with it at the end of the day. So.
It's such a sense of accomplishment when you can start, especially like you say, when you do a lot of big pieces and you work on them. Sometimes you feel like, God, I'm never going to finish a tattoo that I can like show people and say, hey, look at this. You've got all these like perpetually going tattoos, and when you do get the opportunity to start and finish one, you're like, man, I got a lot done today. This is awesome.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's I'm in the same boat. I rarely get to do that, but I'd love to do it. And it's funny because whenever when you first start out, you're doing nothing but one shot kind of tattoos. And you're looking forward to the day that you can take on big projects.
Yeah.
And then you
get overwhelmed with it.
Then you get overwhelmed. You come full circle and want to go back and actually finish something.
Tattoos.
As far as where you see your work going, I mean, you're happy with what you're doing now, sticking with color work. No real interest in a lot of black and gray or anything like that.
My wife works at my shop and she does black and gray.
Okay.
So I kind of push those over to her.
Yeah.
You know, I enjoy, all styles of tattooing, but, I definitely kind of, I guess, delegate who's going to do the best job and who's trying to like push for that at my shop and everything. So, but I like that everybody has their own little thing going on, so.
Yeah, and it's nice. Shops are leaning more and more towards that, trying to bring in artists that specialize in different things just so they're a little more well-rounded, especially since it seems like artists are specializing early in their careers and more than they ever have, before. When I first started, there were like everyone in the shop kind of did everything. It wasn't, you didn't have a lot of
busting Cherry Creek flash all day.
Exactly. So what about artwork outside of tattooing? Do you do any work in any other mediums?
I pretty much do everything. I like to do sculpture. Painting a little bit. I get pretty frustrated with painting, but yeah.
Just different ways to make a mark. Just struggle with the handling the materials, or?
I think especially like oil painting, like the setting up and the time, and not being able to say. I don't know. Not being able to instantly go back into it, where I want to. So. Right.
Yeah. We were talking to someone yesterday that was like, and I've tried oil painting, but like I forget who it was. But he was like, basically, even with acrylics, I'm putting a blow dryer on acrylics. I'm so ADD. I just want to finish.
Yeah.
Like I want to make a mark and that be the mark and be done with it. And it's like, and if you can manipulate it for a week and a half afterwards, then like I'm going to, and I'll never finish it.
Yeah. So, that's what I see. I like acrylics a lot better because I'm quick when I paint. Slow when I tattoo.
Yeah.
So like acrylics work for me because it's really sloppy. I can almost do like palette knife, painting, and I think that's pretty fun, just kind of messing with values and just damming it on there and all of a sudden it comes to life, I think that's pretty cool.
Do you bring much from that kind of like looser kind of work into your tattooing, or do you kind of really separate those two?
Actually, it's pretty separated. When there was a point in time where I did like to draw and do all like freehand tattoos, and I don't know. It was just kind of not. I didn't feel satisfied with it, so I went back and I said, okay, I'm going to sit here and really like focus and draw and push that and really try to get all the details in there and really, sculpt my lines and really kind of. Really get into it that way,
So even on these big pieces, like working on a sleeve, for example, you're really preparing finished drawings beforehand. Even if you are doing some marker drawing on, you'll.
Yeah, it's always a funny thing, trying to connect two tattoos together.
Yeah.
And you just kind of have to, I guess, anticipate it and maybe leave a couple spaces open, not knowing maybe what you're going to put up here. Right. And how you have an idea of like how it's going to lay out on the arm or something, but that doesn't always work out that way. So
that's we talk a lot about that on the show as far as like finishing tattoos, kind of leaving yourself an in, and not like capping a tattoo where you're bumping up against it if they ever did want to expand, and then also being prepared to break out markers no matter how finished of a drawing you've done, because I mean, like 8 times out of 10 it's just not going to sit exactly where you want it to sit, and sometimes you have to cut that thing up and make it work.
With
your you mentioned your shop, do you own the shop or do you just work at a shop?
Yeah, I own the shop. What's Apocalypse
the shop
Tattoo Company.
Apocalypse. Okay. How long have you guys been open?
We August 1st was our second year.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
okay. So still relatively new.
Pretty new.
Do you like being do you like running a business?
Absolutely.
Really?
You know, I don't know. I've been in so many different shops, and never really had much luck with having the bosses in any kind of job I've ever had. Yeah. So it's really cool to just be that guy. And I don't want to be that guy that's a total asshole to my guys, so I don't micromanage. I let everybody pretty much have a lot of freedom. Yeah. And it's a really cool environment, cool atmosphere.
How many artists do you have right now?
We have 4 artists right now.
Okay. Yeah, that and in tattooing, as opposed to some other businesses, although a lot of businesses are going the way where they're allowing employees a lot of freedom, especially with the technology boom and all that kind of stuff. You have Google letting people work from home for a year after they have a baby and stuff like that. Yeah. But in art especially, it's kind of a fine line, because when you have creatives, and most of them are like exactly what you just described, like they struggle with someone telling them where to be, what to do, and all that kind of stuff. But then you're also trying to run a business, and you need them to show up and do tattoos. So I guess for the most part, it comes down to like hiring the right people, bringing the right people on board.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's my wife, my best friend for 25 years, and another guy that shows up on time every day. So I've gotten really lucky, with my crew, and it's just gotten better and better. And I push everybody to improve, and it's and not in a way to where it's like, you fucking suck,
Right. Right.
So
you're in Atlanta, outside of Atlanta, where?
Oh, it's in Atlanta. It's the Buckhead area of Atlanta.
Okay. Yeah.
It's kind of the fancy smancy.
It's a fancy area. Yeah, I've been there a lot. So Atlanta is just a super competitive area for tattooing, huh? I mean, there are a ton of great shops around there.
Yeah, I got Russ Abbott right down the street.
Yeah.
There's no pressure there.
We were just at his shop a couple of weeks ago podcasting. Yeah. And talked to a couple of his. He was one of the. We were talking a minute ago. I don't know if it was before we started filming or not, but about these kids coming in that are just rock stars right off the bat, and like in these formal apprenticeships and how structured they are. And we talked to one of Russ's recent apprentices, and I was blown away by how good he was. Like, watched him wrap up a tattoo before we started podcasting, and I was like, man, that was super clean. It was beautiful. How long have you been tattooing? Well, I'm about 6 months out of my apprenticeship, or a year, or whatever it was.
Just like been Clinton.
Good. I guess, but with it being such a giant city, I guess there's probably the competition may not be as stiff as it seems as it is in my head, huh?
Yeah,
there's plenty of tattoos to go around.
Yeah. It's we don't have trouble. It's in fact, we go to Ink and Dagger to get tattooed. So I don't know. I guess it's your own personal attitude about it. If you want to be super competitive, you can. If you don't, just work your ass off and do cool tattoos. And people will come.
Right.
So that's kind of the way I look at it. And it's like, man, if you're not having fun doing this, it'll drive you crazy.
Right.
So if I'm putting a bunch of competition into it and stressing myself out over that kind of stuff, then.
And that's a relatively new mindset too. And as this community has grown, especially with social media being such a huge part of it, the kind of idea of shops competing with each other within a certain area is kind of going away, don't you think?
Yeah, I think so. It's years ago. It was there. You saw it.
Oh yeah.
You didn't fraternize with the enemy.
Right.
And now it's like, I don't care.
Right.
You guys are gonna go hang out with those guys? Whatever.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's
learn something from them.
You have so many people collaborating across shops with with each other and stuff like that, and that's relatively new too. But yeah, I remember Memphis is where we're from is a little smaller tattoo town. At least there's not a ton of really high-end custom shops, but there are 6 or 8 of them now, maybe something like that. And I remember even just in the last 10 years, we would go to. They have these Best of Memphis kind of things where they'll vote on the best Thai restaurant, best tattoo shop, best whatever, and they have these parties for whoever wins. And I remember showing up to those parties with our shop, and like first through third place would show up, and you're like, oh, that's those people from that other shop. Just don't even look in that direction. Let's sit at this table, and that's completely gone in a pretty short period of time.
That's cool though.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. Where do people go if they want to get tattooed, if they want to find you, look at your work?
Well, you can go to apocalypsetattooco.com. and everybody's portfolios. You can email everybody through that, and
mostly an appointment-based shop, or do you guys do any walk-ins?
Yeah, it's mostly appointment-based. As busy as Buckhead is, our location's kind of weird. I mean, it's right off a main street, but it's like on a second story, and it's kind of hard to see, so we don't really get too many walk-ins. So yeah, most of our stuff is like online, social media based and email appointments.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. What is your Instagram, Facebook, any of that? Where they find you on that?
I would say
the shop's the best way to go.
Yeah, the shop, Instagram. Okay. I post. I actually have control over that one, so I'll post my stuff and not, as the shop. So
Gotcha.
I don't ever even use my own Instagram. So
okay, so that's Apocalypse.
It's Apocalypse Tattoo Co.
Yeah, guys, check him out. I was just looking at his work before we started this. A lot of really, really nice stuff. Looking forward to see what you do today. So, thanks,
awesome.
man. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Take it easy, guys.